list. I want to get to Andey calling in from the Bahamas. Hey, Andey, I don't think I've gotten a call from the Bahamas, so you're my first one. What's up?
Hey guys, I'm happy to be the first, I guess.
Cool. So what did you want to talk about?
All right, yeah, so this is the question. Do you guys think that it's ever appropriate at one point, like as an atheist living in the Bahamas, to just say, okay, that's enough. I probably shouldn't be here anymore and just give up on my home country because of the way that they operate?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll give an answer first, so then I want to hear Andy's thoughts. You know, I never lived in the Bahamas, but I do hear stories about the Bahamas. And when it comes to, I hear horror stories about LGBT communities in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I hear horror stories about, different religious fundamentalists in the Bahamas kind of doing some crazy stuff, especially some of the more nefarious kind of give me all your money kind of churches kind of stemming from there as well. So I don't know, Andey. I think here's something to consider. You know, you could be the catalyst for change in your community if you choose to stay there. And I know that's an unfair burden to place on you because it shouldn't be anybody's job to do it. But by golly, someone's going to have to do it eventually. And if you want to do that, I think that's a noble goal. But your personal safety and your personal sanity comes first. If that's not something you could do, certainly I wouldn't suggest it alone. If you already have some like-minded people you can talk to, go ahead. But if it's just you out there, there's no shame in getting out of that. There's no shame in trying to improve yourself and be surrounded by a community of like-minded people that'll probably be more beneficial for you in the long run. So that's my 2 cents. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, I would say safety first as well. Like I'm not as aware of what's going on there as you seem to be, but based on what you said there, I'm like, yeah, okay, right, safety first. I don't know whether it's a case where you can openly be an atheist. What's the situation there, Andey? Are you able to just be an atheist and voice that, or is that what's going on?
Like you can be an atheist openly, but then it kind of affects a lot of different aspects in your life because it's a very small country and it'll affect your work. It'll affect interpersonal relationships. Like people tend to treat you completely different. I've had people who were like close friends. When I told them, they came out like, oh, well, you're going to burn in hell. And, oh man, I'd say, I'm going to pray for you. And I really wish that something bad happens to you so that you would be able to like make your way back to God and stuff like that. It's kind of intense.
Yeah, no, it sounds horrendous. I mean, I would, if it were me, I would probably be looking for a way out, maybe to find somewhere where I can be around people who are a little bit more open, if not like-minded people. But at the end of the day, that is your call to make. And like Dan said, I would say, yeah, safety first. But if you can be a catalyst, if you are prepared to take the consequences for that, then it could be a really positive thing. It's just,
when I first kind of figured out,
whatever's right for you. There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a bit of delay there on the feed there, but whenever I was figuring out that I was an atheist, I was I had finally figured out by the time I was living in Waco, and I wanted to kind of spur my community, and I found that there were already some groups there that were doing stuff, and I did some good stuff there, but I eventually found I wanted to move to Austin for a variety of reasons, but one of them was to be more involved with the ACA. And I feel like I've made more of an impact here now that I'm in Austin, even though Austin itself is, by and large, the least religious city in the state of Texas. But there's different ways where you can help people out. Don't necessarily feel the pressure, because I know I was just making a whole speech about helping people around you. But like, even if it's not on the direct local neighborhood level, if there's online groups of people who are in the Bahamas, if there's just people who just need help, like, that's something that you can do, and you don't have to necessarily live exactly where you are. As long as you understand, the cultural context which a lot of these people come from, which is something that I, at the end of the day, can't do because I'm not from the Bahamas, you're going to be a valuable asset to those people. So if you want to help people, I would definitely consider volunteering your time online by figuring out, hey, where are these groups? Or is there a Facebook group I can make? Is there something I can get out there? So there's a couple different solutions, I think. But like Andy's saying, it's up to you, man. Live your life. And there's no shame And again, moving to a place
it doesn't
where,
have to be you.
Yeah, it doesn't have to all be on you. But if you care about the movement like we do, there's things you can do. So, but great question, Andre. I hope things get better where you're at. And thanks for calling.